Do you want to say a few words?
You go first.
No, you go first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very good. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. A really exciting day for 72 outstanding Queenslanders. These Queenslanders are going to graduate as the newest constables of the Queensland Police Service. What an exciting career, and they're now part of the next chapter for the Queensland Police Service. We know that there are a lot of outstanding people in the Queensland Police Service, and of course we're on a journey to reform, to build a better police service, and these new constables will be part of that journey. So can I commend them for choosing a life of service, a service to community, and can I encourage them to be the example in the workplace, to set the tone and to accept the standard. These are good people doing good work, and they can be part of building a better, bigger Queensland Police Service. I just wanted to also say a couple of remarks about some of the claims yesterday by David Crisafulli. You know, if he needed more proof of the recruitment that's currently underway, there's an example today. 72 new constables of the Queensland Police Service. You know, as I said yesterday, the numbers don't lie, but David Crisafulli does. In fact, maybe he should change his name to David Christofullivit, because he just makes it up every single day, and there are plenty of examples of the Queensland Police Service not only delivering on the commitment that the government made to the people of Queensland, but to be active in their efforts to ensure that recruitment is as good as it can be in the current climate. I'll now invite the Commissioner to say a few things.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming out here to see what is a pretty exciting day for 72 new recruits. It's always an absolute honour for me to be here on these days, because it really does take you back to when you yourself were sworn in many, many years ago. And I know the recruits will talk to you very shortly, but it is one of the most special days in your career, particularly after a very difficult 6-7 months of training. One of the new concepts in our training is to really look at lived experience and domestic violence victims, as well as all the other training we do in that space. And one of the NGOs has come on with us to talk about that lived experience, from broken to brilliant. It's the first time we've used lived experience to talk through the issues around domestic violence, and this will now be rolled out permanently in all of our training, as well as increased training in domestic violence and cultural capability. So today these are the new recruits. One is off to Sherwood and the other to Edmonton near Cairns. And Trey starts actually tomorrow, and so I welcome them to the Queensland Police Service. I ask that they continue to keep learning, that they uphold our standards, and that they totally enjoy the career of the QPS. And I might get one of them to speak. They've actually got to leave in about 5-10 minutes, so I'll get them to speak first.
Good morning.
Can we just get your name and spell, please, first and last?
So Stevie Brown, Stevie Brown.
How are you feeling about today, and what made you want to join the QPS?
I'm feeling very nervous actually this morning, but I'm really excited. We're all excited to get out there and get on the road and start policing, making the community a lot safer, start helping those out there. I've always wanted to join the QPS. It's always been something I've wanted to do, especially go into the detective sort of specialist area. So yeah, and I'm glad I'm here. Glad I'm graduating today.
As a woman recruit, it's
Yep.
been a difficult couple of weeks for the Queensland Police Force. How have you felt personally reading and hearing about all the things that have become public in the last couple of weeks as a woman who's now going into the police force?
Yep, honestly, I've been following what's been going on in the media, and I'm going to say it's not actually scaring me at all from continuing my career in the police. If anything, it's actually making me more motivated to get out there and be a part of this organisation and just try and make those little things a little bit better and guide those that may need a fresher kind of mind to get out there as well. Like, I have been thinking about all the misogyny, all the sexism, the racism, and it is sad that it does still happen in this day and age, but I think every organisation has that, and I think it's a really job well done. Every police officer I've ever met has done a great job. Everyone I've heard of, they're doing their best, and that's all they can do.
Okay, so what was the discussion amongst other recruits? They all share the same position as you. Was there any trepidation about what's been reported? What the Royal Commission has uncovered?
No, not really. I think we're all motivated to get out there. We've had great training for the last 6 months, and I think that's motivated us as well. So we've had a lot of different training come in, especially as the Commissioner was just saying about the domestic violence training. So I think that's really helped, but it's also guided us as well to be better out there. But no one's scared of it at all. We're all excited to get out there.
Thank you.
Morning.
Great. Can we get you to spell your first and last name, please?
Treiwatkins, Trey Watkins.
Great. Off to Cairns tomorrow. It's no rest for you.
I was actually,
Sherwood.
yeah,
But he starts tomorrow.
yeah, it starts tomorrow, yeah.
So you're straight into it. How are you feeling today, and what made you want to join the QPS?
Very excited, very nervous, sweaty hands, keep having to rub them together. What made me join is just that dream when you're younger of being part of the police service and making a difference, and being in the community and having the blue uniform on and being there for people at their crucial times and having that unspoken thank you when you get there and do the job.
What do you think you can bring into the force that may not be there already? What do you think you can add?
That's definitely a tough question because there is a lot in the police service. But personally, I do have a lot of drive and determination, and I'm one to definitely shut things down when they're not going the right way, and I don't stand for things being done the wrong way.
How have you dealt with these kind of claims that have been emerging over the last couple of weeks, months? Have you been following what's happening?
Yeah, I have been following it a little bit, but not to the extent of every day turning on the TV just to check in. And like as Stevie was saying, like we've talked about it along our colleagues, the recruits, and we all feel like we need to be the change. We need to get out there and help that change that the Commissioner is putting forward, and definitely stop that in its place.
Thanks. I might let them go because you've actually got a couple of minutes and they've got to get out and
Thank
play.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks. Mint?
Any questions? Or, yeah.
Minister, I've had a text, and this is coming from the opposition, suggesting that there's been a big report done on racism in the police, and using a term like Christopher Fullerton is making fun of an ethnic last name. What do you say to that?
Oh, well, look, he needs to start being straight with people around the facts. He needs to be straight with people around the situation. He needs to be serious around being part of the change. You know, he needs to be able to take it as good as he gives it.
And specifically about that last name, the use of the last name that way, we've often heard the same thing with Annastacia, Palaszczuk, people with ethnic last names. Do you think there is a problem with that?
Oh, look, he is making it up. He's telling fibs. He needs to be frank with people around how he's approaching his role of scrutiny of government.
Do you think if you had your time again, you might not use that type of word?
Oh, you know, I'm sure if you challenged him around some of the things that he said, not only yesterday, the day before, the week after, you could probably be critical of some of the things that he said.
I guess one of the issues here is the recruits. We heard yesterday that one of the upcoming trainings will be cancelled. How are you going to ensure that we've got enough to meet demand in the years going forward?
Yeah, look, we addressed this yesterday and the Commissioner said some things around this. This is not a challenge unique to the Queensland Police Service. It's a challenge in every profession, every occupation, every industry, every part of Australia and in fact the world, The media are having trouble recruiting people, the construction industry, the hospitality industry, the mining sector and also government agencies. But I want to give a commendation to the Queensland Police Service because they are being very proactive around recruitment strategies. There are some states, and I won't mention them because they're doing their best, but there are some states who quite frankly have dropped the ball. There are some states which quite frankly have dropped the ball when it's come to police recruitment, but the Queensland Police Service has actually been very proactive. There's a number of strategies that they've already deployed. There are a number of strategies that they're working on at the moment. I'll put it in context as well. Just this month they held some massive open days. Almost 3,000 people attended, and from that hundreds of people interested in joining the Queensland Police Service. Understand that from today for the next few days we've got hundreds of people sitting the entry test. So the Commissioner confirmed yesterday that the pipeline of new recruits is the best it's looking for about 2 years. So well done to the Queensland Police Service for being proactive in a tough employment market, and it is a good career. There is a good opportunity for people to serve their community in the Queensland Police Service.
The opposition also is saying that they believe you fudged some of the numbers yesterday, that some of the figures that you alluded to or pointed to were part-time or back-of-house staff. Is that correct?
Well, that's a bit offensive to the Queensland Police Service because my numbers, as I said in the press conference yesterday, are the Queensland Police Service's numbers. They are the measures that the Queensland Police Service uses for its employment processes. The first is approved strength, which is the funding they get from government. That's in the budget document. That's really clear. It's in the budget documents every year, how much the government gives the Queensland Police Service and how many positions they are funded for. The other is the actual head count, which is the bodies on the ground. And the Queensland Police Service has used that measure for years and years. So, they've got to put things in context and, we had a remark there before around language being used. Well, let them be honest about the language that they're using. These are the numbers the Queensland Police Service uses.
The big debate here is a full-time staff on the front line, isn't it? The Public Service Commission, I think, said it was gone down by 12 frontline staff on the front line, full-time equivalent. Is that correct?
Well, the measure you've got to do, and I mentioned this yesterday, I'm sorry you weren't there, Tim, but the measure that the Public Service Commissioner uses is called the Mori count, and the definition has changed. So the definition has changed in the last 12 to 18 months. It's gone from a more generous counting measure to a less generous counting measure. So they're comparing apples and oranges. The measure the Queensland Police Service uses is the approved strength, which is the budget funding from the Queensland Government, and the actual head count, which are the bodies on the ground. And on both measures, those have increased by hundreds.
Can you categorically say that some of the perceived recruitment issues here are not due to maybe some of those cultural issues that have been dominating headlines over the last year or so?
Oh no, I think that some of the commentary, publicly, as presented by the media, has influenced people's interest in the Queensland Police Service. It is important for people to have considered, decisions around what career they want. The thing that I say to Queenslanders is that there is a roadmap for building a better police service. We want people to be part of that positive change, and there are a lot of good people doing good work in the Queensland Police Service. It is a good career, there is a good service opportunity, and I encourage people to consider it as an option for them.
You say commentary from the media. Do you think some of the recordings from the Watch House and the Royal Commission...
Oh no, but that's what I mean, what's been made public through the media.
Minister, the Infrastructure Partnerships Australia has put out a report...
Sorry, what was that?
The Infrastructure Partnerships Australia has put out a report ranking the states in terms of infrastructure and infrastructure pipeline. They've ranked Queensland 7th, only in front of WA. When you sit around the cabinet table, is there a concern about the speed of the infrastructure coming forward, particularly with the Olympics?
Yeah, well, I'll talk about my portfolio area because I guess that's what I've got general awareness around. And we've got a fantastic pipeline of infrastructure works that's currently underway. We made a commitment at the last election around $300 million over 5 years of police infrastructure, and we're on target with that. We're rolling out projects all across the state. You know, I think anyone who's involved in construction at the moment, whether you're building your house or building a commercial building, will appreciate that there are some challenges in the construction industry. But certainly in my portfolio area, we've got a good plan. We're delivering on that plan, and it's benefiting Queenslanders with jobs in the construction industry, as well as also new facilities for police officers.
Sorry, everyone, I've got to go.
Yeah.
Sorry
Do you have
to do that
5
to you.
minutes? Two? Okay, right.
Any more for me?
It's starting without us.
Yeah, I get that. How do you ensure not only do you get the recruits, but the quality of recruits to understand some of those issues that have been brought to light in the last
Yeah, it has been challenging, but it really is about ensuring the recruits and the public that predominantly the organisation is made up of amazing, people, 17,500 who go about their business to really protect the community, and you've heard that from the recruits. We've had amazing open days. Our pipeline is better than ever, the best in 18 months. This weekend, some 500 people are sitting for their tests, so there is definitely confidence there. So whilst we have been challenged, I think recruits and the public can see that we're learning from this and that we need to learn from it and we need to move forward.
And you mentioned earlier this week that you're looking to serve an officer with How is that going? Have you done that yet?
Yeah, so I mentioned that in the context, I'm looking at a number of matters where I think we need to take further action. And that came off the back end of finding it difficult to, over an extended period of time to deal with some of these complex issues. So I have got legal advice to test some of these matters. And there will be one served either today or tomorrow, and that's suitability of being a police officer in the organisation. And I'm looking at a number of other matters as well.
Are you able to speak about the circumstances or
Oh, look, I really can't for the integrity of the investigation, as you can appreciate. I'm sorry, guys, but we're actually got to go. Thank you.